Hello, everybody. We're here for another this week's decals. Um, the week is 11/30/2018, and I am joined by um, Massacre,
Hello.
uh, Midnight Marauder,
Hello.
and Aquanut66.
How's it going?
Okay, so I have my screen open with this week's decals. By going to basically you go to that by clicking on your name and going to decals, and it should be right in the bottom. It says week's latest, and so let's go over the easy one first, guys. The one that you can only purchase, the one um, that you can't actually grind for. It is called the Blow Your Mind. What do you guys think about it?
It's kind of ugly.
I don't think it's. I think it's very limited what you could put it on because there's
Yeah.
the black background behind it, and it's not neatly lined. It's not like it's contained by a frame of any sort. So just slapping it on a tank isn't going to look very good. But again, this thing's kind of meant for, say, the Huey.
Yep.
And with the pictures they provided in the log for it, you see that's very much the case. You'd
let's-
have to
I was gonna say-
post it.
Let's ask. Hold on. Let's ask Chad really quick. He was around when this smoking a lot of pot was around.
I don't know. I think it's a really cool looking decal. Uh, again, it's one where I'm not big into paying for stuff if I can avoid it. Um, so I don't know if I'd ever buy it, but it's still a pretty cool looking decal.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Masker. You were saying putting it on a Huey.
It's basically just a camo that's only at home if you have somewhere to put it where the background will be the same color as the decal itself.
Do you know of any other decals that are almost pitch black that you can put this on top of so it would look better?
Like put it on top of a decal, another
Yeah,
one?
Make it look.
That's something you could do, maybe. You could do the Jolly Roger flag, depending on how large that can get. Hard to
Yeah.
say.
How big and stuff.
I mean,
I don't
if the thing was a little
really.
more defined, it'd be better. I don't know. For some reason, it just doesn't.
If they had
snap out.
either gotten rid of the black background on it, it would have been a cooler one, I think. Would have done better, but because it's got that black background, it's very limited in what it can do.
Mm.
Okay, we're gonna skip over the two Japanese ones really quick. So the first one we're gonna talk about is the brigade of the 133rd Tank Battalion of the Russian Federation. So that one is you need to come in first place 7 times. Ground vehicles, USSR.
Yeah. So you'll remember, or maybe not, that this is at least a similar name to a certain decal which had a very similar task earlier this year. That was 4 weeks ago.
Where
That was the.
do you know where
If
this?
you look under Russia,
Where's this decal?
if you look under the USSR tanks,
Mm-hmm.
it should be somewhere around the bottom there. The emblem of the 133rd Tank Battalion.
Oh, it
it's
is.
that
It's
flag.
the one with the.
Right.
The-
The difference between this and that is that this is simply the badge, whereas the previous one was just the emblem.
Okay.
So to get the badge for the 133rd, we're having to get another 2 more victories getting in first place for the Russians.
Yeah, it's almost like the unit crest we call them sometimes.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I see that 133rd. Does anyone remember how we did those?
T-34s?
Yeah.
4.0 is
Yeah.
how we do it. Most people tend to prefer 3.7, 3.3 T-34s.
Yeah.
It's a rank 2 task, so you can definitely do that. There's no reason to have to do the 4.0 ones.
If you do 3.7, um, You could also take the KV1, the L11 at
Well,
37.
low BR, the three popular ones last I checked were 3.7, 4.0, and 4.3. 4.0 a little less.
The reason why
But 4.3
I
and
think
3.7 are very popular.
4.0 would be better for something like this is if you take your T34 57 first, you can actually use it for your daily grinds, your
Right.
daily warbox.
In realistic though, which
Mhm.
a certain amount of people also have, it is a 4.3.
Okay.
So it works in arcade to do that, but it doesn't really work in realistic to do that. It's better just to have the full 4.3 lineup.
Okay, and what else would you take at 4.3? With that?
KV1's is 5. What else would you take?
Probably the E, the KV1E, KV1S.
Yep, if you have the KV1E, that is definitely something you would take along with it. ASU 57, you could take.
This 5 is a 4.7.
Yeah, not in realistic. It's a 4.3.
Yeah, does this 5 is 4.3 realistic?
Oh,
ASU 57 as well can be taken at 4.3.
Okay, so you can
So all
basically
good
do
tanks.
4.0, 4.3, 4.7, and basically grind it out that way.
3.7, 4.0, 4.3.
So how how confident are you like taking the KV1E in a realistic 4.0 match? Would you come in first place? Like how often would you?
I like the tank that's got a quicker reload. That's why I like the T-34s better. They reload a little faster, and their shells are pretty good. Even though the KV's got the armor, you can pen the KV. You know, you're a little quicker than it. You know, you're able to maneuver a little faster. The turret time on a lot of the T-34s is faster than the KV.
Yeah.
So they got to pivot. They got to pivot while turning their turret to get on you. So I just, I with a KV, I probably wouldn't get as many first place. I always get first place, playing, a lot more first place uh, spots playing the T-34s.
So my little thing with these first place things are when we play as a group, 3 or 4 of us, only one of us can come in first place.
That's one thing, but at the same time, I'd say you'd probably want that more for the sense that you're going to win more of your matches.
Well, you don't need to win.
Mhm.
You do need to win.
Yeah,
Oh,
you do
we
need
do
to
need
You
to
win.
need to win, and you need to come in first.
Oh,
Yeah.
touche.
And the drawback
7
there is
times.
you got 4 guys. You got to play, 28 games
28 games, yeah.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
somebody coming in first in that group, and winning.
We do have 14 days to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not that much.
28 games isn't really that big of a deal.
I
So
just want to
everybody,
throw this out here too.
okay, Chad.
If you're looking tier 2 and higher, I'd even consider T28s. If you have a couple of T28s, throw in that 2.7 lineup of those tier 2s. Those T28s can wreck shop if you end up in a lower VR, and then you can just tear them
But
up.
if you do 3.7, you can take out the SMK.
So,
Not a big
yeah,
fan of the
if I did a
SMK.
4.0, I'd probably
You can
do a
also
4.0
take,
lineup.
but you can also take the KV1 L11. You could take the T34 1942, and I believe
I think
the
Chad's main
1941.
point, if you go like a straight 2.7, um, we're talking SU-76Ms, multiple versions of it, even ZIS 30s. That 57 on that ZIS 30 is no joke sometimes if you know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. The T28E, especially the up armored one, is a beast sometimes. If you get down tiered into a 1.7, you're just gonna go from your spawn to their spawn, and just kill everyone in between. Like they can't even stop you.
So that's where I was thinking if I were solo, I'd honestly consider that, even though the T34s, I love that lineup. but that would be one if I were
Uh,
solo. I'd honestly
I
consider.
know one tank I probably would not take for an event like this would probably be the SU-122.
This you what?
The SU-122.
No.
No,
You
no,
need
if you want-
fire rate and you need to play aggressive, especially if you're going to force a win.
Yeah, the
Well, if you wanted to
SU-122
take-
is not the tank.
If you wanted
Not
to take
the
the
tank.
Russian Matilda,
If you have it.
if you have it, if
But
you
the
have the
problem
premium,
with Russian Matilda is its speed.
it's slow. It's slow, but it's got, killer gun.
I know.
But will that
I've gone
get
into
you
battle with
victory?
you guys where
Mm.
you guys are already mopped up the entire team, and I'm still trying to catch up to you guys.
Mhm.
Like, you guys capped a point, I'm not even halfway there yet.
If
I agree.
it's somebody who doesn't like the lower tiers, T-34-85, IS-1,
Mhm.
Yeah,
And the lineup that goes with it.
5-3 lineup is good too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so 5-3, 5-7 lineup. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, you can do that too.
Absolutely.
Because there's definitely a certain amount of people out there that don't like playing low tier at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in our squadron that only play 5-3, 5-7.
Just
Mhm.
remember, again, it's always what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
As long as you're in a tier 2 vehicle or better.
Right.
You gotta play to your strengths.
Mhm.
Okay, so anybody want to say anything about the Russian first place 7 times? Anybody?
The decal itself,
Oh
It's
yeah,
cool.
it's a good
decal
decal.
itself.
I think it's
And,
cool.
and the
to
Uh,
decal looks pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
It reminds me of like the same shape as like an army crest we would have on an army beret almost.
It's got a lot of colors, and you could actually put it on anything instead of the Blow Your Mind, which has more colors but is limited by the black. But this one's got a border on it, so
Yeah,
kind of works.
orange is
This one
always
definitely looks like a patch.
yeah, like an army patch. Okay, so the next decal is the French. We were talking about this earlier. It's the emblem of the 51st Tank Battalion, French Armored Forces. For this, ranks 2 to 6, ground vehicles, France, capturing 25 zones. Um, I think each of us had a completely different opinion on this one.
Yeah.
Let's start for Chad. Chad, what do you think?
I would do pretty much any of the AMX tanks. So if you wanted to go low tier, AMX 13, and just keep a low tier lineup.
What would you
But
take
I
with
think
your tank?
higher tier, the AMX 13, the AMX 4, and the Char. I mean, that's even the Lorraine. I mean, that's a quick lineup right there.
Well, Lorraine's probably the fastest.
Yeah. But I mean,
I
of
wish
those
the Char
tanks,
was,
the AMX4 with the turret, I'd probably throw a 6-0 lineup at least.
Yeah,
and go with that.
that's actually exactly what I was gonna say. If you look at the top speed of the AMX M4 57 and the top speed of the Lorraine 40T 66, at 6.7, the Lorraine 40T's got to be the fastest tank that's gonna be on your battlefield.
It's whatever's going to happen, unless somebody's taking an M18, you're probably going to arrive at any point first.
Yeah, and you can also take the CA Lorraine
Yeah, the CLA Rain's like 62.
Yes.
68.
And
It's a bit faster than the Lorraine.
But
You said
I think I
68?
like the just Lorraine
Yes,
better.
the CA Lorraine is faster than the Lorraine 40T.
Doesn't have any armor.
yeah, but it's only.
Well, it
70.
has to doesn't have to hold an autoloader.
Well, my max speed's showing 62 for the Lorraine.
Yeah, because you're looking at it in
You said
realistic.
60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let me switch that back. to
Yeah,
what
it's
I see.
62 and realistic. That's still fast.
Which is wicked
Yeah.
fast and realistic.
Fast.
Yeah.
And AMX M4s.
So I
That'd
would,
probably be my number
so
one
in my
choice.
opinion, I would probably do a 6.0 or a 6.7. 6.0 you can take the AMX 13, AMX M4, and the CA Lorraine. All
You can't-
very decently
In
fast.
realistic, however, you can't take the M4 because that'll pop you up to 6.3. If you're comfortable with 6.3, that's all fine.
Mhm.
You could take the DCA 40. That's actually another AMX-13. It's the same chassis, same speed.
Yeah, 60 kph. Um, I know somebody had the opinion here of taking um, French Jumbo at 4.7.
Yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah, you just pull back, you let them cap, and then you push back in. You have enough armor to just do that continually.
So I think we've tried that a couple times where we would go and cap a point, back off,
Back off.
let them cap the point, back off, let them cap, go
I
back.
believe that last time we did it, the last game in that streak was somewhere around 6 captures in a game.
Yeah.
And you guys all did it together.
Yeah, yeah.
So 6
Yeah,
caps.
so
in
we were
one-
each able
one
to
game?
get 6
Right.
captures.
So that's definitely a great squad, a squad one to do. You
So
can
for this
coordinate.
one, you definitely don't want to take the point and then keep on pushing. You kind of want to back off after you get the point, right?
Yeah,
If you can, there's not always maps where you can do that. And Zombo starts to put you up into those BRs where you get a lot more advanced to the Rhine, maps like such.
Okay. Dan, what do you think? I haven't heard from you.
what's that?
I don't think I've heard from you for this
Oh
one.
no, I was agreeing with you guys about the 6-0 and line up, and then backing off the cap and pushing up, and
Yeah. So
doing it as a squad
this
group.
is the one country I'm gonna say lower is not better at this country.
Yeah.
If
This France.
you're doing the French,
The
you
lowest
want to go.
you can do 2.0 and 1.7 for this. I wouldn't.
Well, if you're, what is it? The space
Yeah.
captures. If you want something quick, so I mean, you could do the tier 3 AMX 13. I mean, that does 67. That's a low profile. It's a quick tank.
All
might be
you
in and out.
really need to keep in mind is anywhere, so long as you're doing 3.3 to 7.3, you're generally going to have a lot of the fastest tanks in the game.
Yeah, you'll be up
So you're
against the
gonna get one cap,
34s.
usually one game.
AMX 13
Minimum.
low tier has kind of the disadvantage you'll go up against T34s occasionally, and they have comparable speeds. But if you run up to 6760, a lot of the stuff's slowed down, even
you
as high as
keep-
7.3,
Well, you keep
because you could take the
keep your
MX
speed.
30.
Yeah, but you
Uh,
still got to go up against the BMP and
Another good thing about this is
Those
if you're
aren't
taking,
hard.
I don't know where you're at in
yeah,
the
but
tree
they're
or
quick.
the average persons are at in the tree. You can actually do it at a high tiered, and like I'm researching my MX50 super bias, and it would be nice to actually do these decals while actually getting good research for something that I'm researching instead of doing it at a lower tiered and taking a big hit on my research points.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one's kind of like a two-parter for us. So
Mm.
this one is going to be ground vehicles Japan, 2,000 points 5 times. As you can see on my screen, I already have 2. Midnight Marauder, I think, is already up to 4.
I got them all.
Or he's already got them all. He's got
5
them
and
5
6
times.
games, baby.
So, we were just doing this earlier. As you can see, I already have 2. The lineup we were using was basically Chinu 2, Not 2, and M24. So basically, we were doing
M24.
basically a 3-7 lineup.
Yeah,
and
3733.
And playing in a group. One thing that is a little bit different that we do, when somebody gets 2,000 points, when you're playing in a group of 4, that person should back off. Should stop killing people.
Yeah, once you cap, that's it.
Yeah, once you get those 2,000 points, back off. Return to base. Maybe even just use some of your machine guns. Don't kill anyone. Just let your squad mates get some points. There were certain times. I think there were 2 games that we did today. But all 4 of us got 2,000 points in the game. Quite successfully. Dan, your opinion? You're the only one who wasn't playing with this earlier today.
Yeah, no, I tried. We did make the suggestion about running things in realistic to try to kill two with one. Get the bomb targets.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, well, I mean that's it. Since I just got on a little while ago, that's the first thing I did was I tried it in realistic. Because you have to get 50 kills with a plane, but if you're in realistic, you can cut that in half, and then you just have to get a 2,000 game. But playing the 3.3.3.7s in realistic, tanks are a lot slower. So there are quicker tanks out there that tend to get there, but I got one. I got one part of it done.
What do you think, Mass?
You go 3-7. You bring out the key 100 is probably the best bet. You want to get the most you can out of. You could also probably do it with the key 43-2, as it has a similar bomb load of two 250s.
Well, the key 61's pretty good too.
I don't believe the key 61's got the bomb load.
It's got
The Otsu does. Yeah, you could use the Otsu.
Yeah.
Anything you could take at least a 250 kilogram bomb as an aircraft, you can use. Up to 3-7, of course.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, you will likely, if you can manage it, want to use a fighter over a bomber for the lower spawn point cost.
Yeah, Japanese bombers are not the best, you can say, for bomb
I
load.
think the Japanese
you can
up to
say it.
3-7 have more the problem of not having any attackers, which means you don't have anything that you could take and say bombs would not cost more than they would on the regular aircraft.
You could try out the H6K4. It's got two 800s on board.
Oh no, I'm not talking like these are bad planes. All that matters is your spawn point cost, right?
Uh,
Because if you don't do too well on the ground,
you need
you
to
might
make
be
up
very
for it.
limited. Yeah, and bombers, last I checked, cost a decent amount in ground realistic. So it's a little more practical to, say, put some bombs on a fighter, launch them off the fighter, and then, on top of that, you can actually go and shoot down other aircraft, which still counts towards the task.
Yeah.
Whereas the bombers is, you drop your bombs, you're done. You're not doing anything more. You have to return to base. With the fighters, you drop your bombs, you get kills that way, and then you get up in the air and you kill other aircraft. And you only have to get 25 kills that way. And on top of which, you are near guaranteed to get a high amount of points, because killing aircraft gets you a lot of points in realistic. So long as you have enough spawn points so that you can end in a tank. Again, you can do both these tasks at the same time. No problem.
So that's exactly what we're talking about, is we're talking about getting 2,000 points ground vehicles and also doing the kill 50 slash 25 RB for Japanese planes. It's 50 or kill 25 player vehicles. That's including um, enemy tanks and enemy planes. And for this to work, you actually do need enough, like I said, like Masker said, you do need enough spawn points to get back in. You need to end the game in your tank.
Bring an anti-air.
What?
Bring an anti-air. That's going to be the most effective way. Because it's somewhere around 70 spawn points on original.
One of the easiest ones to take is your Soki.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Soki.
You might decide to take the Tasse instead. I mean, if you end in the, as long as you end in the tank, you'll get the task. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you prefer the closed basket at the loss of the second 20, it's up to you.
Yeah. The one thing I was thinking about towards the end, that I know that one thing to not take would be the vehicle you just purchased, the Chiha short gun.
The Chiha shotgun would have been fine. It was the Horo that was the problem.
No, I meant as in the sense of actually getting 2,000 points.
Oh no, you're not gonna get 2,000 points in a Chiha shotgun. Could do it in the Horo, not the shotgun though.
Okay. Um, does anyone have the whole reproduction?
No.
Uh,
Oh, the
I'm
production?
about
I do
halfway
have the
there.
production. I'm sorry. Yes, I have the production.
Okay, because I know when I spawn a new realistic or arcade and I use the whole reproduction, it plays just like the Ferdinand. You put yourself in a spot far away, you snipe, and people shoot at you, but they don't pen, and you get lots of points.
It has. I'd say Birdman's actually better than the Hori in realistic, just because the BR it gets.
Yeah, but we're
It doesn't have
talking
to deal
about
with dangling here.
2,000 points in Japanese.
Right, 2,000 points in the Japanese. I get that. Issue is, if you're gonna do the aircraft at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna die. Likelihood is, if you're playing this properly.
Yeah.
And the way you're gonna get a lot of your points is by getting shot out, and that's kind of how you're gonna have to rely on for those points. But the issue is, if you just don't die and you just sit way at the back of your map, the points you gain are going to be slower,
Mm-hmm.
and your ability to go up in the air and get an absurd amount of points very quickly is going to be hampered. I believe there was a point-based task during the summer event, but I could be wrong. And one of the strategies was to get up in the air,
Yes, I do remember
get a bunch of
that.
kills, and then come back and spawn in another tank. This is just like that.
I remember that.
So the Hori is kind of counterproductive to that, just by the way it is.
But it would get you 2,000 points.
Oh, maybe. Not a guarantee.
Yes, not a guaranteed.
If you get in the air, it's pretty much guaranteed.
So, second part, or actually third part of this one would be Air Arcade, Japanese.
Take Japanese planes, decimate everybody else. I mean, pretty sure it's that simple. They're pretty good in arcade.
Yeah, so the one thing I was looking at for when I was looking through what you can take for Japanese planes at Air Arcade would be the two Ki-61s, the two Ki-43s, and the two Ki-44s. Two of them are 2.3, two of them are 2.0, two of them are 1.7. You can take a whole lineup of those, and they're all fighters, and you just go and outturn everyone at 2.3. At 2.3, what are you going to go up against? Some Hurricanes. You might see some low-tiered Spitfires, Sunderlands. I mean,
you're gonna outturn most everything, and you don't really have to worry about energy because it's arcade.
Yeah.
The questionable part would be air realistic.
Yeah. So, what do you think about air realistic? What would you take?
I don't know enough about airplanes and air realistic to say.
Dan?
Yeah, same there. I don't do a lot of air realistic myself.
At least I haven't played the Japanese and air realistic very much.
Well, I know that if I took out a Ki-61 out, I think I could probably get 2 to 3 kills before I ran out of ammo. In a game. Dan? Or, Chad?
Chad doesn't really do
I don't do
airplanes at
air.
all.
Okay. Anybody want to add anything else to this week's decals? What do you think about them? The designs? Good job, bad job?
If I was going to do air realistic, I would definitely probably not take a bomb payload just to minimize the the drag and all that other stuff. If I was just going strictly against players.
Well, if you're trying to kill people, then All
Yeah.
you'd be taking is a pure fighter role, so there'd be
Yeah.
no reason for them.
Yeah, no reason for bombs because you don't need to kill ground targets to get crap because nobody's on the ground. It's all
And no,
AI
and AI is not going to count.
shit. Right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think this week's decals are looking pretty good.
Hmm.
Pretty easy. The Japanese one, I think you should be able to get that done. Most people should be able to get that done in one day. Um, the what's them call it? The ground vehicles, the SSR. I would say try with your friends and see how many you can get, and maybe even once in a while try by yourself to see if you can just seal club at a lower battle rank. Chad had a great idea. It was 2.7. See if you can do it. Um, see how many people you can kill in T28s. Just farming. Anybody?
Nope.
I think I'm good.
Okay. We will see everybody in about 2 weeks for the next week's decals. I think if anyone has any suggestions, one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to do a little bit of research on each decal. If anyone wants to post any information about the decals in the description, I will make sure to pin them. Or any suggestions on what are we doing. If you want to participate, just message me in YouTube or find me on Discord. It's the same name as I do have in game, as you can see on the screen. And just ask, and maybe you can participate with us in the coming weeks for the decal discussions. And just I will see you guys in 2 weeks.